Hello and welcome to York News, a brief look at what's new and what's happening in York County. I'm Gail Whitaker. Coming up on this edition of York News, there are several opportunities to hear some great music at Riverwalk Landing.
Call the meeting to order and welcome everybody this evening.
Up first, the Board of Supervisors held its most recent meeting on Tuesday, August 16th. At the meeting, the board was introduced to new members of the Planning Commission and Wetlands Board.
We serve the counties of Virginia in at least 3 ways.
Welcomed Larry Land, Virginia Association of Counties Director of Policy Development, for the presentation of VACO Achievement Awards to the county's Information Technology Department for its program File Structure and Accountability.
While computers may be able to sort out the thousands of different permissions and how they interrelate, human beings often struggle with these complex combinations. This shortcoming leads to a high potential for human error in applying permissions, making a seemingly secure system compromised.
And to the county's Department of Fire and Life Safety for 2 programs, Taking Action Against Fire Service Cancer, Hoods and Wipes, and Training for Life for those who served and those that serve.
Cancer is one of the most dangerous and unrecognized threat to the health and safety of our nation's firefighters.
He's been an advocate for property owners in terms of helping them accomplish their goals.
The board commended Al Madalena, former Chief of Development Services, on the occasion of his retirement from county service.
Welcome, Ms. Willis.
There were 2 public hearing items on the agenda. Both items were approved by the board. These were a request to amend the conditions of approval for the previous approved Yorktown Crescent mixed-use development, increasing from 27 to 42 the number of residential units that can be built prior to the construction of a community meeting room and other amenities, and a request for Yorktown Village activity approval to authorize a minimum front yard setback of 9 feet and side yard setback of 5 feet for an accessory deck on an existing structure at 109 Church Street. Under new business, the board approved the appeal made by Grace Episcopal Church of the Certificate of Appropriateness issued by the Historic Yorktown Design Committee for 109 Church Street in connection with its application for the accessory deck. The board approved all items on the consent calendar, including minutes of a previous meeting, the selection of Willie Banks, Department of Public Works, as Employee of the Quarter, the refund of taxes erroneously assessed to a York County taxpayer, a memorandum of understanding for the use of the York-Poquoson Williamsburg Emergency Communications Center facility to the City of Hampton's 911 Communication Center if it is found necessary during an extended outage, and the purchase authorization for engineering design services for Poquoson Headwaters CSX Railroad Crossing Stream restoration. The next meeting of the Board of Supervisors is scheduled for Tuesday, September 6th at 6 p.m. in the East Room of York Hall. For more information about Board of Supervisors meetings, please visit www.yorkcounty.gov/BOS. Board of Supervisors meetings are retelecast on WYCG TV Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 11 a.m., 7 p.m., and 11 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday at 3 p.m. Programs scheduled for 6 p.m. on the board's meeting dates will be preempted by the live meeting.
It is really very, very warm. It's unusually warm. We've had a long stretch of warmth.
Meetings will be broadcast both live and on demand on the web. WYCG TV programming can be reached by logging on to the county's homepage and selecting WYCG located adjacent to the video portal.
The Code of Virginia requires local governments to have a planning commission.
The Planning Commission will hold its next meeting on Wednesday, September 14th at 7 p.m. in the boardroom of York Hall. There are 2 applications on the agenda. Application PD 42-16 is a request to, number 1, amend the York County zoning map by reclassifying 2 areas encompassing 11.9 acres along the northern boundary of the 112.6 acre Marquee South Pod property located at 900 Marquee Parkway. Number 2, amend the overall development master plan for the Marquee South Pod property referenced above by relocating and enlarging the previously proffered elementary school site. And number 3, amend the previously proffered conditions for the referenced property By incorporating changes outlined above and adding a condition requiring the developer to extend Marquee Parkway to the school site prior to October 1st, 2017, said deadline to be extended 1 month for every month after September 1st, 2016, that the school board fails to enter into a contract for design of a school on the site. The property is zoned PDR and EO and designated in the comprehensive plan as economic opportunity with a mixed-use overlay designation. And application number ZT 17116 is a request to amend the York County zoning ordinance to provide that for any non-conforming use for which a business license was issued for such use and the holder of such business license has operated continuously in the same location for at least 15 years and has paid all local taxes related to such use, the holder of such business license may apply for a rezoning or a special use permit without having to pay a filing fee. These applications are on file in the Planning Division office where they may be viewed by the public. The Planning Division office is located at 224 Ballard Street in historic Yorktown. Office hours are Monday through Friday from 8:15 to 5. For more information, please call the office at 890-3404. If you have visited Yorktown Beach recently, you may have seen some demolition activity occurring near the Yorktown pub. Two structures behind the pub, the old motel building and the cottage, had deteriorated to the point that they were deemed unsafe structures by the building official, which prompted an official notice to the property owner that they either needed to be repaired to a safe condition or demolished. The property owner, G Square, was given a deadline for corrective actions to be taken, and in accordance with that notice, proceeded to engage a demolition contractor to remove both structures. G Square applied for and received approval from the Economic Development Authority, a demolition loan under the EDA's demolition loan program to help fund the work. G Square's principals, Gil and Greg Granger, have indicated they are working on plans for redevelopment of the site, including the area behind the pub and extending to the Beach Deli, which they also own. Their conceptual level ideas include additional restaurant, retail, and residential space. Any such plans would require review and approval by the Historic Yorktown Design Committee and the Board of Supervisors. The Celebrate Yorktown Committee will be holding a fundraiser to support visual and performing arts in the community. Yorktown celebrates fall arts with opening night, a special event featuring a gallery of water-inspired art, accompanied by music, food, and beverages, and a silent auction, will be held on Friday, September 2nd from 5:30 to 8 in the Freight Shed at 331 Water Street in historic Yorktown. For more information about purchasing tickets, please call 890-4490. Mark your calendars for Labor Day weekend when the Virginia Symphony performs at Riverwalk Landing. The concert is scheduled for Saturday, September 3rd along the waterfront. This concert is always popular and well attended and features beautiful music in a stunning location. For more information, call 890-3500. In case of inclement weather, call the Event Weather Hotline at 890-3520. The 12th Annual Rhythms on the Riverwalk concert series begins Friday, September 9th. This 5-week concert series will be presented on the performance stage overlooking the York River. The series will be held on Fridays from 6:30 to 8:30 through October 7th. The schedule is September 9th, Williamsburg Classic Swing Orchestra, September 16th, Super Jazz Band featuring Connie Ironmonger, September 23rd, Glenn Boswick and the Sound of Swing Orchestra, September 30th, Dave Sinar Band, and October 7th, Doug Dunn and the Steel River Band. This series is free and open to the public. Guests are encouraged to bring blankets and lawn chairs for seating. For more information, please call 890-3500 or visit www.visityorktown.org. In case of inclement weather, call the Event Weather Hotline at 890-3520. And finally, York County government offices and courts will be closed on Monday, September 5th in observance of the Labor Day holiday. Curbside garbage and recycling collections will not be affected by the holiday. That's all for this edition of York News. Please join us on September 14th for the next edition of York News. Until then, thanks for watching.